Hi, I'm Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet. It is such an honor to meet you both. I'm so excited to speak with you about this show. It's
Hola.
it's just so beautiful and I love the community. And obviously this show explores the ups and downs of relationships, compromises people have to make. And I mean your characters really kind of have dealt with a lot of the last two seasons. So I'd love to hear kind of where your characters are now and what you've learned from playing them.
I've learned a lot. I think one of the great things between season one and season two is that there's been a evolution in our characters, and it was very heavy before, and it was very distant, and now the evolution of the character is more reconnecting. And Jorge's Benito, played by Benito Martinez, his heart attack has sort of given him a new lease on life and sort of like hit the reboot button on our relationship. And I think oftentimes you don't get to see long-term relationships represented on camera, and all the amount of work that it takes to nurture that relationship. And I think there's so much joy and teamwork and sexiness that is part of season two that is so refreshing and so much needed on the airwaves and in a show, because there's so many of us in long-term relationships that we want to be seen. And I think this does that for season two.
I think Jorge's character really does a wonderful journey in realizing that he's had his head down, he's not taking care of his health, he's not taking care of his wife, he's not paying attention to life right here. He's just stuck in work. Things that happen with his wife, she's getting attention from other men, and then the heart attack in season one, really wakes Jorge up in a way that carries over into season two. And in that season two, there's joy, there's love, there's commitment, there's reaffirming the respect and love for not just his partner, but for his children and for his work and for his health and all the rest of it. So it's a fun journey to have. It really is. It's such joy to have characters that are written so deeply that you can just go, okay, where are we going today? Come on, let's go. And then to meet people and they say, God, you're just like my dad, or "Oh,
Yeah.
my parents are going through that, or I'm going through that, or my kids are going through what it's the reality's there, and Gloria and the writing staff have done a wonderful job of just, finding these quirky moments, avoiding nothing, the most complicated questions and uncomfortable scenarios we'll put in the show, and then look at them, with joy. It's important that the theme is still, you can screw up, but you're still loved.
Yeah.
You're imperfect, but you're still loved.
Right.
And partnerships matter and all that stuff. So it's a great job.
You're gonna see Soul and Miles go through more ups and downs, way more than season one. So it definitely is a roller coaster of love. And that's really fun to kind of explore. Me and Todd get along so well, so it was just really fun to kind of have these different scenarios kind of play out.
Season two picks up right where we left off in season one. So, that cliffhanger will evolve, which is great. But every episode has got cliffhangers in it, and at the end, very much like real life relationships. So, that are constantly evolving. So there's always revelations being made, and wondering where people stand and falling apart and coming back together. So it keeps you on your toes. I think that, if the show has taught me anything, it's that love is the best feeling in the world, and relationships are hard.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do the work and you're willing to communicate and grow, then they're the best thing in the world, And so we see that in season two. We see people working really hard to make relationships work that ultimately are the best thing in the world for them. And I hope that people see that and take that away.
I'm very excited to wait. How does that song go? For Nick to be a man. That's gonna be fun. Because he learns to become wise this season. Part of being a man and shedding some of that like toxic masculinity shit is like, learn how to stop fucking around, learn how to really commit and become Sorry for the swearing, but learn how to become a whole human being, more or less. It's interesting seeing the goofy guy learn that he has to develop a personality beyond that. You know what I mean? Beyond just being good looking and goofy. Like there's other things that need to be explored. So that's yeah. I'm really excited for people to see a third dimension to Nick, because really up until this point he's been in some ways a little bit 2D.
Let's just say this, season 1 Cliffhanger was great, but season 2 Cliffhanger is even better. On that note, Lily, she hits rock bottom. She's going to go through deeper challenges, deeper struggle, but at the end of the day, it's going to lead to a greater victory. She is navigating what every woman I know is navigating, what I and my girlfriends are navigating, which is love, our dreams, our career, our family, societal expectations. How do we find our happy medium, right? How do we live our best life? So to me, that is what I am most excited for everyone to relate to, because it's the struggle of most women.
Vincent, we know that you can sing already from all the amazing projects you've worked on in the past. So I gotta know, like, what went down with that proposal and how that all came together. That was such a great musical moment this season.
It was fun and thrilling. Yeah, because when Gloria pitched or told me like you're gonna do like a big grand gesture, you're gonna sing to him, and there's gonna be choreography, and I went, is there now? It was exciting and also like, but then obviously it became just fun. I mean, Gloria, I have videos of Gloria and I just coming up with dance moves while we're filming the first episode, just like workshopping it. Like I became a choreographer and music director, and it was a blast to kind of bring some of my musical theater background into the show. But really what the biggest payoff was what actually the moment we created, like that proposal moment, like everything leading up to that moment and the actual performance itself and how it was shot and how we got to, like, I sang full out the whole that day. Like I sang to Mark whether he was there or not, just to make sure we had the coverage of the reactions. And it meant so much to me because this moment really is special. Like that, because Henry doesn't usually do grand gestures. So the fact that he's doing it now to take this next step in his relationship is a testament to like his commitment to this specific request that his partner is making. So I think that shows the amount of love and care and kind of like sacrifice, like the willingness to do what your loved one needs and desires. So I thought that was just a beautiful, tender moment, and I just had a blast doing it.
I don't think that he was necessarily expecting what happened to happen, but obviously his reaction was a resounding yes. And so I think that I don't know if he knew it at the time, but he was obviously very, very ready to kind of to move forward in their relationship. And I know that, you know, Jorge loves Henry so much, but I think that the whole idea, at least my little story about Jorge, is like, I think that he probably would have been fine if they were just like life partners and perhaps like never like got engaged or got married or anything like that. But I think that the grand gesture of it all was definitely very, very sweet. And also just from a viewer's perspective, it's just something, it is kind of the crux of the show, right? I think that if there's like one scene that is wholly representative and encapsulates the entire show, I think it's probably that moment in the first episode of season 2.
I feel like that's so important to see on screen and to show viewers. You know, this really like, you know, central couple that is like sharing their love story with everyone. Love that.
We talked a lot about this in filming the season of like how much do we want to make this traditional and how much do we want to subvert kind of heteronormative versions of kind of matrimony and, you know, and coupling. And I think that the one thing that I know, like in terms of Jorge, is like tradition is very important to both of these characters, right? Henry with his Filipino culture and Jorge just with Mexican culture, but also just with his family. So I think that, but we did have a lot of discussions about how traditional we wanted to go. And I I love the way it turned out.
Do you guys have like a favorite, even a more challenging moment that you filmed this season?
To me, it's always like, as an actor in general, you have lines and you have to memorize, and it's like, how do I convey the absolute truth so that everyone that's watching is feeling what the character is feeling? So more than anything, it's just, I think, a constant, not struggle, but a challenge for actors to do. But there is a great set, and Gloria leads it beautifully, and she's there holding our hand nonstop. So she makes our job pretty easy, and her words are they just flow out of our mouths. It's just like speaking normal.
For the first time, I think, in any show I've done before, but I was completely naked in front of my cast and crew, and it was just great to feel liberated in that sense,
It's great. It's beautifully. It's beautiful. What you're gonna see, ladies, and men is just a piece of art. So just
you'll see, a lot. I got a fresh BBL for this scene.
Man's over here looks like a stack of wheat.
Oh my God, please send me this video. We need to post this on our social.
That's Michelangelo's David, but from behind. There was a logistically challenging scene, and I can't give too much away because it's one of the most fun scenes of the season, but you'll know when you see it. Too many cooks in the kitchen is all I'll say, and it was very logistically challenging, but it was fun.
Many cooks in the kitchen that fulfills one person's fantasy.
Okay.
Yep. She's selling the saucy version. Yeah, you'll know it when you see it. It's fun.
I gotta say, Constance, I mean, from Selena to George Lopez to With Love, like, I just feel like you've been such a consistent drumbeat in so many of our lives of like just these incredible projects and showing such beautiful Latino representation. I was just wondering, like, kind of what that means to you to be able to represent that over these last, decades of your career.
If you had asked me when I was a baby actress if I would think that I would have such a long career and I would have such projects that touch people over long periods of time, like movies like Selena and the George Lopez show and My Family, Mi Familia, and like those were so long ago, but they're still so relevant today. I am so blessed. I think With Love is just the next extension of that, because I have really tried to, and it's not easy because you have to make a living, but I've really tried to only do projects that I feel represented my community in a positive light, or just with integrity. I mean, it doesn't have to be always positive, but just like that make me proud. And With Love and its diverse representation with age, with race, we have everybody, and sexuality, we have it. And I feel so proud to, and just thankful again to be a part of this project, because I feel like we're putting out good in the world, and we're showing the Latinx community in a non-cliche way. Like we have education, we have our homes, we have successful businesses, we have diverse relationships. It's just a beautiful thing, and I feel like it is the biggest feather in my cap to be a part of this show.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you both so much for your time. Congratulations on everything. People are going to really love this season, and I'm just so happy for you both.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!